I'm sorry to hear that. Thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here. Excited. First guest. Unmute yourself, friend. I don't know. That was a seamless intro too. Oh my goodness. Oh, man
Oh, I
alive.
know. Hang on. All right.
Wouldn't be a podcast with you and me if that didn't happen.
I know. I think we're good now. Okay. I'm sorry about that, folks.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Oh, there we go. All right. Cool. Now we're on. Cool.
Oh, we're good. We're
I
good.
think we're good. People are telling us that we're on. So sweet.
Awesome.
Okay. Let me try that again. Welcome everybody to the first ever Chicken Chat podcast, the official Chucky Chicken podcast. I am Michael Cook, the creator of the show, the director, the producer, and the voice of Chucky himself. And with me is my co-founder, as well as the voice of Perry Keat, Mr. Aaron Berogan. Aaron, so good to have you here on the show.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here. First guest.
I know. All right, deja vu. For those of you who don't know, we are running the Chucky Chicken Kickstarter campaign. All the links, of course, are going to be in the description down below. So we are basically going to be doing these podcasts. I know that I said on the last video, if you saw the speed run that we had released yesterday, that we're going to be doing these every Tuesday and Saturday at 6 p.m. However, I didn't realize I have a lot of work I gotta get done to get this show and to get everything going for you. So we're gonna be just doing it on Saturdays. So we're gonna have different guests. We're gonna have not just Aaron, but we're also gonna have the cast, the crew, a lot of people involved with the show. We're gonna do a lot of different things. My camera's frozen now. That's what they're saying. So.
It sure is. Even on my end, I see that.
Oh my goodness. All right. Well.
That could be because you were telling me as you were in your way to the studio though that you have a bunch of people in there right now, so you may be
Yes.
sharing a lot of bandwidth.
Yes. 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 Perhaps. So. I'm hoping it fixes itself. But we're going to talk to you because we want to get the word out about the Chucky Chicken Kickstarter campaign. Right now, we're shy of $2,500 in just a couple weeks, which is woo amazing.
Awesome.
Yes, it is fantastic. So, I mean, the amount of people that we've had supporting this so far has been very humbling, to say the least. I'm really pleasantly surprised. And we still have 45 days left to go. So we're running it now through the end of June. And we updated all of our tiers. Lots of really cool stuff. So I want to go ahead and talk a little bit about that. Aaron, I'm sure you had some stuff. And by the way, you are more than welcome to join in the conversation in the live chat. We'll be looking and seeing if there are any questions from you guys. So please, you can ask us anything about the show. That you want to know, everything from the format to the characters to what we plan to do. We want to share it all with you guys. This is just an introductory show. We're probably going to be on for maybe about 45 minutes to an hour. So this is not going to be a super long podcast for our first one. But yeah.
I wanted to add too. So I know right now you're streaming on YouTube. We also do have this all being streamed on our Twitch as well.
Yes.
So twitch.tv/Valley Studios Media.
Yes.
For our Twitch users out there.
Yeah, because we have one of those, which is really cool. So
we do.
Yeah. So Aaron, I want to talk about the show because a lot of people have been asking me a bunch of questions, such as, what's the audience? What are we trying to do with Chucky Chicken? A lot of people have not heard about Chucky Chicken, so I just kind of want to give a brief introduction to the series to folks.
Yeah, absolutely.
So.
So I mean, I guess I'll jump in.
Yeah.
Right here. You know, I'm not here just to be a pretty face.
No, you got to work today.
Oh, okay. All right. As those who have joined us before know, with Chucky Chicken, it's gone through a couple rotations of what it is, as you started this almost 10 years ago,
Yes.
conceptualizing the character.
Yeah.
And now when we talk about like what we're trying to hit, I know we're trying to mostly stay on that online sort of platform where people are heading to. And a lot of one of the things you and I talked about was one of the things that we feel like is missing when you're looking on YouTube, for example, right? Is you have one of two extremes. You have this extreme over here where cartoons and animation are for children, right? They're educational and stuff, which is great, and there's a place for it. But it's for children and adults or teenagers, that sort of stuff. They're not going to watch it.
Right.
On the other end, you have these things that are adult cartoons, right? They're funny, they're great to watch.
Right.
They're smart.
Yeah.
But they're for adults. They're gory or they have harsh language. When you and I grew up watching cartoons, there was this space in the middle, right?
Right.
There was this space where you and I watched a cartoon and we laughed when we were children because it was funny with the slapstick or
the music was great.
The music was great. Someone farted, that kind of thing. Our parents laughed because there were double entendres, and not double entendres in the like in your face double entendres.
Right.
They were smart, they were cleverly written, but there was entertainment for both the parents and the kids, and that's what we want to get back to. We want to get back to something that you can sit down and enjoy with your family as a whole.
Right.
Something that you can go onto your Roku TV, choose your YouTube app on your smart TV, and you can watch a cartoon that the entire family can enjoy as one. Not one where it's like, well, I better watch this after my kids go to bed, or great, this is what I'm watching with my kids.
Right.
We want those parents to enjoy it. We want the children to enjoy it and be able to watch it.
Exactly. And we're very thankful, by the way, like when we were growing up and we wanted to do like movies or cartoons or things like that, we didn't have YouTube as a platform. So we're extraordinarily thankful that we have a platform where we can make cartoons, we can put our work out there, and we have this freedom to be able to do that, which we didn't do today. I'm going to go ahead and comment right away. We got Koza Cage saying, so I'm getting like a Ren and Stimpy vibe. No, we're not doing... No. No, Ren and Stimpy. No, we...
I would say Ren and Stimpy was like the beginning of adult cartoons. Like, there are some scenes from that. I totally watched it as a kid. But, like, there are some scenes from that stick out in my head. And I'm like...
Right.
That is highly inappropriate. Like we're not looking to push the bill.
Right,
either.
Right. And that's the thing,
We're trying to be a little more clever than that.
Correct. And I mean, not that there's, there's a time and place for it. There's fans of Ren and Stimpy.
Oh, yeah.
They were pioneers of their time. I mean, you are a huge fan of Ren and Stimpy. I am not. And that's okay. That's totally fine. So, but for us, we're kind of more in the camp of like the classic animation. So, we got that sweet spot of, the stuff that we grew up with, stuff that we saw on Boomerang, as well as the stuff that we saw on Kids WB, or Nickelodeon, or the Disney Channel, when we were kids. So we want to
Animaniac.
Yes, exactly. And we're very fortunate to have on our side and in our camp people who worked on those shows back in those days who are a part of it, which is really, really cool. And they're helping us kind of steer the waters through what is obviously a tribute to that, but also how do you push it to today's modern generations. Steve DC 101 says, yes, I'm 14 and tired of stupid kids shows or adult shows. I appreciate that. Thank you for watching, Steve. That's really cool of you. Let me just go ahead and say hello to everybody. We got Dan the Tooth Man here. Hello, Dan. Nice to see you, Steve. And Cozy Cage, I think is how you say it. I'm not 100% sure. Again, thank you for joining us. We're going to just talk about what we want to do with Chucky Chicken. And please go check out the Kickstarter campaign that is still running right now. But... when you're making an animated show, one of the things that you want to do is you want to figure out. It's just important to know what you want to be, as it is what you don't want the show to be. You know.
Oh, absolutely.
So we've taken some time and we've actually like come up with like 3 major pillars that we want this show to essentially kind of like 3 guidelines. You know, we're focused on the content, we're focused on the creativity, and we're focused on the characters. And I want to add one more in just the comedy, you know. So,
yeah.
And I think that, you know, you and I have talked about it a lot, like where we want Chucky to go and what are some of the things that we plan to do with it. Yeah, I would love to get your thoughts on on some of those pillars, if you will. You know,
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So, you know, when we're talking about the different pillars and what we want to do, as you kind of mentioned, you started alluding to is the characters, right? And I think the characters is obviously going to be our strong foundational pillar because, again, we're trying to go back to those lovable, those remarkable, those memorable characters, right? And so one of the things that we obviously want them to be is we want them to be very relatable, right? So we want our audience to feel like these characters have very human qualities that they can be ingrained with, right? For example, Chucky Chicken is not just a paragon of all thing good.
No,
right?
He's not.
He's not just. I mean, he's our hero.
Right.
He's our main character, our lead. But it's not like he's always going to make the right decision in any given situation.
He's quite fallible.
Right?
I had to. I'm sorry.
You hurt me.
Go
so
ahead.
we want our characters to have those human-like qualities that our audience can relate to. Because as we all know as humans, we're going to make mistakes. That's how we grow. That's how we learn. That's how we develop. And the same thing's going to happen to our characters.
Right.
And of course...
Oh, go ahead.
No, please, sir. After you.
And what's cool about our show and the characters that it's an ensemble cast, so you have a wider range of different lifestyles, a lot of different types of characters, you know, presented in our show, which I personally love. And I think that the most important thing is that, you know, that they're able to play off of each other effortlessly, and very much like, you know, Tiny Toons, for example, or Animaniacs. You know, they had all these different ranges, all these different types of characters, but they could mix and match, and they all played well with each other. For example, one of my favorite episodes was the Variety Scramble of Animaniacs, where they had they switched out Dot Warner for Slappy Squirrel, who was with, you know, Yakko Wacko on all these different adventures, and I thought, oh my God, that's so smart. Like you have these characters. And they play off of each other really, really well. They're written well. They're great characters, but they're actors. You know, that's exactly who these. You know, they're not just cartoon characters; they're cartoon actors, and that's where we're kind of going forward with the show. We do have a question here. Steve DC 101 is the show based off of Looney Tunes, Max Fleischer, or Disney? Yes. They all have different, a lot of different.
Wait, hang on, I have to back up here. Steve, is Steve the one who said like they're 14?
Yes.
Earlier.
Yeah.
And they know Max Fleischer.
Good on you, Steve. Good on you, my man. Thank you
good
so
on
much.
Man.
But we take inspirations from that era. You know, we loved the 30s and the 90s. The characters do have a lot of all those wonderful artistic, you know, aesthetics. You know, the pie eyes, the face masks, the you know, the anatomy. What we want to do is we want to take that era and not necessarily recreate it verbatim, but we want to enhance it, and we want to. If they had the technology back in 1935 to be able to make the cartoons that we have today, you know, or the technology today back in those days, that's what we want to do. And that's kind of, you know, that's just one aspect of it. So Because kids today, they're not going to understand life without a computer. They're not going to understand life without a cell phone or the modern conveniences that we have. So it would be very foolish of us to go back and recreate that era verbatim. So we want to plus it and make it better and tell modern day stories and modern day adventures. So that's a great question.
Chucky gonna call Chelsea, he pulls out a rotary phone.
You know what?
Be like, what is that?
Or even better, operator. You got a nickel, pal?
Yeah.
But yeah, so characters are very, very important, and especially in today's day and age, like when we're in this era of, gosh, I don't even know what to call it without getting in trouble. Like inclusion, I guess you could say. Like we want to make sure that we're that we're accessible to everybody. Essentially, is what I'm going with it. So, the next thing that we want to talk about, obviously, is the content.
Yes. So absolutely.
Yeah. So story is paramount for us. Like it is super duper important. Like me and Aaron both, we're not only have, do we have this background with animation? Well, I have the background in animation, but we both have theatrical backgrounds. So and film backgrounds. So we know, as important as it is that the characters are great, the story also has to be paramount as well. It's the most important thing.
I would say, and for us, right, like this is the pillar that defines Valley Studios, because we are storytellers as a studio, whether it be through D&D podcasts or video game streaming or video game news coverage or web series or animation. That is what we do, right? Is we tell stories. So absolutely, story is so important to us, and obviously so important to Chucky Chicken. And that ties in what you were saying with the ensemble, right? We can rotate any of these characters. It almost doesn't say who's saying it, so long as we have the story to support what's happening.
Right, exactly. And that's what's really cool, because like what we want to do is, obviously because of our inspiration, there's the temptation to just take Chucky Chicken and the gang and retell classic fairy tales like Jack and the Beanstalk or Cinderella or blah, blah, blah. But we want to go above and beyond that. We want to tell not only original stories with the characters, and not only, these other stories as well that people know, but we want to go deeper beyond just the traditional European fairy tales. I think it'd be fun to take a lot of inspiration from what we see today and then marry it back into the cartoons in a smart way. For example, one episode... Start streaming button again. Okay, there we go. Okay. All right, so we should be back... Okay, you're back. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I'm still missing your face though. You're not...
I know I don't know why my camera isn't turning on here. That's really frustrating.
If you want, I can Vogue for everyone.
No, don't. Okay, seriously though. My apologies. These things happen, folks. I apologize. I don't know why it's happening today of all days, but maybe this is just a sign. Oh my goodness.
But anyway, so yeah, as I was explaining earlier before all that ended, that is why we find story content to be so important. No, that was a really terrible just jump in there. But we were talking about the fact that like with the content, we want to emotionally invoke people. We want the emotion of the characters to set the pace of action. But most importantly, we want the emotion to be something the audience can actually connect with, and that goes back to that characters being relatable. So, you good, Mike?
Alrighty. I'm here. Hang on. Sorry.
I was like, oh no, he's not even here anymore. I'm just doing this by myself. So, folks, if you're on YouTube,
my camera isn't coming back on. So, okay. Yeah, so this is embarrassing. Okay. Tell you what, I hate to do this to everybody, but I think we're going to have to... Do you want to keep going, or do you want to just...
Yeah, no, we can keep going. Why don't you do this? Send them over to our Twitch channel. Let's bounce over to the Twitch channel. Join in on the Twitch, everyone.
I don't know. I don't have...
twitch.tv/Valley Studios Media. And then once you end your broadcast, it might give you bandwidth back to have your camera back.
It won't even turn on. That's the problem. So
Yes, but you currently have your bandwidth going. My mic sounds like static.
I know. So, alrighty, all right. I'm sorry, guys. We're gonna have to cut this short. If we get it up and running again,
Is that better, Chris?
Oh,
sorry.
No, I just.
Hopefully that's better over here on the Twitch. I did a quick microphone adjustment. Yep, perfect, good.
So.
But no, I say if y'all want to come over to twitch.tv/Valley Studios Media, we can keep talking about the cartoon. Death Strike's in the chat right now. Chris, you got any questions about the about Chucky Chicken and the animation cartoon?
And just to clarify some things, we take our inspiration from the cartoons, but we're our own thing. We're not going to do, we're going to take we're not going to just redo the classic tropes. We're going to, take our characters, take the world of Featherton, and tell original stories. But we are very much inspired by these characters. So, it's our own thing. So I don't want people to go in thinking, oh, it's going to be another Mickey Mouse or another Looney. No, it's not. It's going to be original stories, our own brand new thing. And I mean, this is.
Well, and so on that, like, I mean, when you talk about like these characters, let's be real. When we discuss the fact that like how our characters are alive and well in their own accord, in their own skin, right? How many story ideas have you already come up with simply by having an improv session with your voice actors, and these characters just come to life?
Yeah.
I mean, it's great as you guys work together and you just bring them, and they're so rich and so dimensional.
Yeah. And that really is because of the expertise of the actors. I mean, we have really some of the best guys and gals in the business that are, working on this. I mean, for those of you who are unaware, we have folks like Mike Pollock, who is, of course, the voice of Dr. Eggman in the Sonic the Hedgehog series. He is one of our characters, Tommy Turkey, and he just brings, this wonderful performance of the character with DL Cook 87. Those aren't sirens. Those are people working here at the building. So, like I said, I think we had a little bit of a power surge. So I'm lucky to have the things working that I do now. So
I have a question kind of tying into what you're talking about, if you don't mind, over here on
Go for
Twitch.
it. Yeah.
Death Strike 22624 asks, what inspires your stories you tell? Are they lessons or exercises you play through the characters?
A lot of it comes from exercises that we play through the characters. Another really wonderful thing is that we just are inspired from what happens to us in real life. For example, one episode that we're currently working on is based off of many situations that happened to me while we were on vacation. So I don't know if yeah. So I mean,
I'm excited for this one. It's so funny.
And just those little family stories that, I've been told by family, like, if you just take everything that happens in our life and turn it into a cartoon, you'll have a hit show. And that, to me, like, I'm very excited to bring some of these personal stories and tell them in the world of Chucky Chicken. And this particular one, I'm not going to spoil anything. I'm just going to say it involves an island on a vacation and a pair of pants. That's all I'm going to say. But I'm very excited about it. And we have quite a few different stories like that we're going to tell. Again, a lot of them is based off of personal passions from the team as well as myself, inspirations that we see in some of our favorite movies and some of our favorite stuff.
Yes.
But anyway.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about doing like a D&D one.
Yes.
Which ties into, it ties into what we do here. But I mean, it ties into, like that creative high fantasy storytelling that we love. Some of us really love.
Yeah.
So, but Death Strike, thank you so much for that question. That was a great question.
Yes. Yeah, so tell you what, folks, I apologize. I'm going to go ahead and cut us off for right now. I know we're a little earlier than 45 minutes, but we're just having some technical difficulties on my end here. But we will try this again next week. I just want to get everything ironed out. I thought I did. I apologize again, but that's showbiz for you. But in the meantime, if you haven't done so already,
for you.
if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the channel. We do plan to do these once a week, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, here on our Chucky Chicken YouTube channel. Please go support us on Kickstarter. We do have a lot of really great tiers and perks that we want to give to you guys. Yes. We're excited about this show. We want it to be something very, very special and very cool. And with your guys' help, we can do that. And we do. Go ahead.
Sorry, I was gonna say, before you sign off, can I ask a few questions for you of you about just kind of like the path that you're taking using Kickstarter, your hopes, what kind of got you involved with that sort of stuff?
Sure. Kickstarter is just a trustworthy platform as far as I'm concerned. Like, I've done, GoFundMe, and I've done a few other, crowdfunding avenues, and I've heard a lot of really wonderful things about Kickstarter, and I've wanted to do something like this for a long time. And I know it's very risky, all or nothing, but it does work. Like, it's helped so many people in the past, and I know that it has a bigger audience than even anything that I could reach out. But the idea for our Kickstarter was to basically make sure that people get involved with the show and can see what we're working and what we're doing.
And if you haven't been to the Kickstarter yet, like Mike said, there's a lot of really cool tiers. Mike, what's one of your favorite tiers you've got?
Oh my goodness, one of my favorite tiers is the pin, the enamel pin that we have, as well as the buttons. I also do love the opportunity to be able to do the one-on-one training. Like, that I think is going to be very, very cool, to teach one of you guys how we do our animation, or to work with our voice actors, or to just sit in on one of our meetings and just get the opportunity to learn from us and to meet your heroes as well as ours. I think is going to be a wonderful opportunity. I also really enjoy... we do have a very, very, very cool tier, by the way, that we just put out yesterday, which you can actually get a limited edition piece of Animaniacs artwork created by Tom Ruger, the show creator. And there's three different there's three pieces available. They're one of ones, extraordinarily rare, and so we're only giving away 3. So they're still unclaimed at this point in time. But if you want to be a part of this, if you want to get some of this Animaniacs history, this is the best way to do it. I mean, that's one of the benefits that we have of working with guys who made our childhood. So, but anyway, what about you? What's one of your favorite tiers for the Kickstarter?
That's a good question, because there's lots of stuff that I really, really enjoy, because I like stuff, and as Mike knows, I'm very, very huge into kickstarting like everything that pops up on my timeline, because I have problems. It doesn't drive my wife nuts at all. But one of my favorites is the movie poster. It's something I'm really big into, is kind of like movie poster collectibles or game collectibles, that sort of stuff. So obviously, as we mentioned previously, I do a lot more of the gaming side of the house for Valley Studios. So I'm really big into collectibles from gaming. And the movie poster is, I'm very, very excited about it. I think it's going to be really, really cool to see that done. And of course, the tier that's at, you get so much other cool stuff with it. Like Mike said, you get the enamel pin, the sticker pack, the digital goodie bag. Yeah, the digital goodie bag is going to be fun too, with wallpapers and all sorts of really fun stuff. I'm excited for that. And then I am excited for the one where you get to kind of like be in the cartoon. Yes, a lot of people. Yes. We've gotten a lot of people with that, yeah. Do you want to explain that one a little bit? Because, go ahead and explain it so people understand. But that's one I'm very excited for. Yeah, so we have 3 different versions of it. We have the $100 where we draw your character in the show style, fully colored. It is a still, and you could either get that with
one of, either the character itself or with one of the cast of the Chucky Chicken show. We're not going to do characters like Mickey or Bugs or Warner that we don't own, but any that we do, we'll be able to put you in. For the Be in a Short, 10 people will have the opportunity to essentially have their character or themselves be in a Chucky Chicken story and a Chucky Chicken adventure. We'll give you a line or two of dialogue, or we'll just have you there just as a way to say thank you for just putting you in there. And then 2 people, should you be so fortunate, will actually be in the show, and we will have a character that you create be a permanent part of the cast, where we can have them interact on multiple adventures and multiple shows. And that's really cool. And a lot of people will be like, oh, well, gee, isn't that just kind of like, what's the point of that? It's like, well, a lot of people do that. Like, a lot of people will want to be a part of a cartoon show, especially with the caliber of the people that we have working on it. We got Tom Ruger, who did Animaniacs, Pinky and the Brain, Freakazoid, all of these wonderful, and you know what? And Steve, if you don't have a Kickstarter account, that's okay. Just sharing it with people is another wonderful way that you can help.
Of course.
Absolutely. So that's, obviously, you don't have to if you don't want to. It would be wonderful. But please share this with folks. And if you do have the resources and you do have the ability to, please donate. Like I said, currently we're at $2,400, shy of our $2,500 goal for, for where we should be right now. We're trying to get $25,000. We got 45 days left to go. And I'm excited to take this journey and to share Chucky Chicken. Like I said, this has been a passion project of mine for a really long time. And I'm very thankful that I have the people helping me make this show happen. And I'm hoping that in the next couple weeks that we'll be able to say, hey, we made our goal. Now we can do this and we can really make this happen. And that can only happen with your help.
Absolutely. And 25, the 25,000, so the one short's just the beginning. That's not the cap, the end all be all.
Correct.
Because that gets us a 7-minute cartoon, and the goal from there obviously is to take that 7-minute short and put 3 of them together for a 21-minute full pilot episode.
Right.
And then a series, and then a season, and then a series. So
yeah.
As Mike said, with your sharing, with your donating, obviously that's where we can get to that. And like Steve said, right? Like, what we're trying to do is we're trying to fill in that gap. Where is that space, as we mentioned in the beginning,
right,
where everyone can enjoy it, and it's not for one extreme or the other.
Right.
So, Mike, thank you so much for having me on. I greatly appreciate it, man.
Oh, thank you for coming on. And again, next week I hope to have Aaron back or another guest. And we're really excited about the future for the show. So please be sure to like this video if you did, leave a comment down below, hit that subscribe button, ring the bell so you know when we go live or when we upload a new video, just so you guys have an understanding of what we're going to be doing for the next couple of weeks here. We are going to be releasing speed draw videos every Friday. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do these wonderful drawings of all the characters, either one at a time or in group shots. It could be based off of a pre-existing episode or a future episode, whatever. But you guys are going to be able to see me draw the character either in real time or sped up, which I'm super excited about. We just released one yesterday called Fired Up Chuck, which I'm really
phenomenal.
Thank you.
Phenomenal.
And then every Saturday, 6 p.m., we're going to be doing these live streams, the Chicken Chat podcast, at least through the run of the Kickstarter, which again is going to be through June 30th. So stick around. And if we have any other surprises along the way, we'll upload them here on YouTube or check us out on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all of that wonderful information down below. But please, thank you so much, guys, for sticking with us. Again, I apologize for that midstream interruption. I will get it fixed for next time. But thank you so much. Again, this has been wonderful, and I look forward to talking with you all